Hello again. I'm starting to think that I need a little picture that comes up on the screen like TV stations do when they have technical difficulties because yeesh. Apparently my little tricks to my camera did not pan out and it still timed me out, so I'm either going to have to learn to talk faster and get through stuff or find a different device to actually make these videos. Again, I apologize, it cuts out on me. Oh, it is so frustrating, and I'm sure it's probably equally frustrating for you guys that are like, what the heck happened? So again, I'm sorry. I'll try to catch up where we left off. So anyway, back down to the Chatelaine Egyptian garden. I'm not sure when the camera stopped talking, so I just want to make sure that I pass along this little tip that somebody was kind enough to tell me, so, you know, for good karma, I need to pass it on. Being the fish and the pond, all the water inside this area here, that's all done over one. And get down in there and see. And starting in the center, of course you find your mark and you move out. I kept having to frog it. I was getting miscounted, and it would usually be at the end, you know, when you get like down to your last area and it's not matching. And it was so frustrated. I think I ripped out fish and water 4 or 5 times, and again, I'm not sure if it was the Yuku or the Yahoo, but wherever it was, thank you so much. If you're watching and you know exactly what I'm talking about and you've been helping other stitchers with this issue, kudos to you. What they told me to do was stitch the border here. Get this all done, this dark blue border. Finish up that and then go inside and do your fish and your water, because you won't screw it up. You have a guideline where you need to go. And oh my god, that saved me so much time, so much frogging. So I am so grateful somebody was kind enough to pass that tip along, so I'm gonna keep it moving too. So this is the Egyptian garden mandala. It has hardly anything going on right now, but eventually it'll grow. I gotta get a few more colors for it, and then, you know, it can join its Chatelaine buddies. But for now, it's gonna wait. Persian kind of took over because it has all its stuff, and it just lives under the bed for a reason because I like it. The other one that I have going is Swan Lake. Let me just prop that one up. And I'm still working on the medallion in the center. Here, there's a big crystal that's supposed to live there eventually. And that's how I got my fabric direction. I just made an arrow with a T. And, you know, Martina is pretty good. She usually has a big enough space that, you know, a few little back stitches will fit in there. So that's what I intend to do for all of my Chatelaines. It's just takes 2 seconds to do and saves a lot of frogging. So this is the centerpiece of the mandala, and I have this, oh boy, I know it's a 28 count, and I know it's an over dyed fabric, but I wonder if it's got a little tag on it. No. No, it doesn't. But this was the 3rd time I started this project. And why? Because I love it on black. I love it on black. That was my first choice, and I was going to do it on black. And then I got about, oh, just this little tiny area in there next to the beginning, and oh my god, again, I was over at the old house. This whip is several years old, I was over at the old house and there was not good lighting. I did not have a magnifier or lamp or anything like that. I tried the towel, the white towel in your lap. That didn't help. And I thought, oh my god, this is such an intensive project. I can't do it on the black. I found my Waterloo. It's black fabric for a chatelaine. Yikes. So then I thought, well, I still want it on a darker fabric. So I got navy blue. Well, guess what? That was pretty much the same scenario. But that's okay. So then I thought, well, okay, fine. I'm just going to make it look kind of, you know, fairy-ish, magical kind of stuff. So this fabric, it has shades of lavender, some shades of like a really muted, dusky, very subtle pink. I mean, you can hardly tell it's there, but you have to look. And green, and then it just has kind of the marbly kind of effect. So I got that one instead, and yeah, then it grew. It didn't have to be just little circles in the middle and frustrating. So it grew with that one. Other chatelaines that I am in the process of kitting up. Let me see here. I have the Fairy Garden Mandala. I love that one. And there again, it's taken me probably 4 years, but it's ready to go now. So I'm just saving that for a rainy day. I also have Greek mandala. Let me see if I can find this bag of stuff. Yeah, the Greek mandala. And that's ready to go. It's got such pretty colors. I think here's its fabric. It's just cream. We'll see how well I get along with it. I'm not a fan of stitching on plain white, but it looks so good with this design, you know, and the colors just sing. And when you think Greece, you think, you know, the white buildings and the ocean, the sand, you know, you think those kinds of things. All the marble temples. So, I mean, I think white is a very good choice for it, but I'm not sure I have the capabilities of stitching such a huge project on white. So I might go either like a gray hand dye, or white and something else, just to kind of break up the monotony of it, which is why I haven't started this one. I'm saving it for a rainy day, and maybe between now and then the perfect fabric would jump out at me. We'll see. I do have this fabric, and ooh, it's one of my treasure ones, and that's Hand Dye Fabrics by Stephanie. I don't have too many of hers and Leslie's, but wow, that could so totally be an obsession if my pocketbook would allow it. But this is Twilight, and I'm saving this one for the Deep Sea Mystery. And it's not navy, it's more of a, I don't know, it's different shades of purpley blue. And it's not dark. I can see the fabric perfectly from where I'm sitting now. So it's not like I'm going to need a magnifier or extra help or anything like that. So it'll be perfect for that one when the day comes I can actually start that one. I also have Stitching Leporello, however you would say that. And this is one of the linen pieces that it calls for. And I'm doing it on off-white, just like she recommended, because the colors just look so nice. And there again, let me find its stuff. As far as chatelaines go, it doesn't call for a lot. This is, and I kitted this up all individually, but this is all the materials it requires. Obviously I still need to get the beads for it, but that's it. It's got 3, 5, 5 hand dyeds in there, and that's it. So it too is also not a super expensive chatelaine project. So, and what you do, when you're all done stitching it, you would put it together, and it makes all these little stitcher tools and, you know, a place to keep them. I have not the Leporello, but the Judy Odell one. I finished that one and put that together. I'll feature that in a video sometime. And that was a wonderful, fun little project. I want to make another one. This is the pack for the Mermaid Treasure Box. Sorry, I can't hardly read the writing on here. And it's got, I kept the DMC, swapped out the solid silks, and kept the hand-dyed fibers for it. I just haven't got the fabric for it because that's a huge chunk of fabric. And I'd like to make the box, but I'm not sure if I would necessarily, you know, I kind of want one for the wall. And then these are, this is just what else is waiting to be kitted. And I think it's just the DMCs in there and some of the fibers. So not a whole lot to go on there. Again, chatelaines. I admit they're expensive, and they take me a while to get them kitted up. It's usually 3 or 4 years before I get to the finish line where I can actually start one. So, God, I need to win the lottery. Don't we know? We all do. So there again, that's the Swan Lake one, and how far that one is. Of them all, the Swan Lake is probably my ultimate favorite. I'm just struggling with getting the medallion part, but yeah. I found what helps me is I'll get like a one color thread, and I'll just go clockwise around the design until it's over with. Then I'll take the next color and just keep going. And I'm hoping that way I'll get through that part. They say that gold frame is probably the most difficult part of it. The little ballerinas don't scare me. The over one doesn't scare me. But they did say that the gold medallion frame was probably the most intensive part. So at least we're getting that over with at the start of it, because, you know, if it were farther out, it'd be a lot bigger. So you gotta look at the positive side of things, right? So that's her. The Swan Lake. Again, there's the Egyptian one. And I love how the colors sing. They just sing off this fabric. I'm sure that everybody who's ever had a chatelaine says the same. The silks just kind of sing. And then of course the big Persian one. So he's getting big enough now that I have exhausted the Q-snap size that I have, and I made some homemade ones big enough to fit that. So I'm really kind of curious to see as it gets bigger, am I gonna have to figure out something else, because I don't like using hoops when my projects get so big. It's pretty much a heaven and earth thing because I can wash those projects. I'm not too overly worried about hoop marks on the heads, but on this one it kind of bugs me, so I'm wondering what I ought to do. So if any of you out there that have gotten their chatelaines this far or farther yet, maybe you can give me some suggestions what I ought to do. I have some scroll frames, and I'm going to save the beading until the very end. Just because they're so huge, I won't have to worry about, you know, beads on top of it getting squashed around. So I would love to have some advice on how to deal with them as they get this big and bigger. So in the meantime, Persian Iris Garden is going to be waiting. Just because March is coming, and that's Celtics, and I've waited for I wait for that every year to just go great guns on those. So I'm gonna put the camera back up here. So once again, hopefully it's not a whole lot going on here with the Chatelaines just yet, but maybe it's helpful to somebody who's wondering, you know, kind of what to expect, and just some little tricks that might help you in the future, or if you're struggling with it now, I hope that helps you. As far as keeping track of your Egyptian little fish pond or the silks versus the DMC. So in that regard, thank you for watching. Again, I apologize that I have technical issues. It seems like every single time. Hopefully we'll work through this, and if not, I'm just going to have to upgrade to something that's going to be better, because it's not fair to make everybody get frustrated like I'm frustrated about it. So take care of yourselves. I'm hoping to get caught up on the YouTube channels again today, so looking forward to seeing all your stuff and working, and oh, it's just so fun. So take care, everybody. Thanks. Bye.